Hello there. So a lot of people seem to think that LEGO is getting worse, more expensive, less value for money, worse ideas, and just generally not as fun as it used to be, especially when you were a kid. Well, we're going to try and answer that question in this video by looking at two LEGO sets that were at least 5 years apart. I've actually got two Star Wars Desert Skiff sets here, one from 2017, which is this one, and one from 2012, which is this one. And we're going to look at these sets in terms of value for money, so there's many different ways we can look at that, and we will. We're also going to look at the quality of the models, and finally we're going to compare them to the on-screen Desert Skiff stuff and see how they compare and try and come to some kind of conclusion about whether LEGO is getting worse. Let me know down below if you agree with what I'm saying, or if you're not even going to watch the video and you're just going to tell me that you think LEGO's crap or you love it more than ever. I'd be interested to know. We should start with the older one. I bought these from a friend and he gave me quite a good price, so I didn't pay over the odds for them. I haven't got the minifigures. Understandably he kept those because they're possibly worth a little bit of money, aren't they? But I have got the instruction booklet as well here. I haven't got the box either. I'm a little bit of an unusual LEGO fan in that I prefer the build and having the model. I'm not really fussed about things like the box and the minifigures, and I know that divides opinion out there. So we've got the two sets here, and we better just get on with it and compare them. So first we're going to start by looking at the price. So let's start with this set. So this was released in 2012. I'm actually using the Brickset website to look at these details. There's a whole host of details about LEGO sets on this website. It's great. So in 2012, this set cost £24.99, and it actually cost $24.99. Well, that means that we're ripped off here in the UK. You get much better value for money in America, and you're even like further away to Denmark than we are, so it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. This set actually contains in total 213 parts, which doesn't sound like very many actually. It's quite a small set really, and if you actually work out the price per piece in this, that works out at 11.7 pence per brick. Now that's not a fantastic way to compare sets, but it's the way I'm going to use in this video, so get used to it. And now, looking at the 2017 set I have here, I actually bought from eBay, and it came in this lovely squashed box. I paid, I think, £23 for it, and it did come with the minifigures and the instructions and everything you could possibly want, just in a really damaged box, which I shall probably throw away. Unless anybody wants it, let me know. So this was actually $29.99 in 2017, so £5 more expensive than the LEGO set released in 2012. Well, I don't know whether or not you've heard of inflation. Things just get more expensive as time goes on. I don't actually think that an increase of £1 per year is particularly expensive. It's probably quite reasonable. And again, it's $29.99 in the UK and $29.99 in America. So yeah, still ripped off 5 years later. But you know what? We're British, we're used to that. There are 277 pieces in this new set compared to 213 in the old one. So there's like 60 odd more pieces in this set. So it's not as if you're being completely ripped off there. You are getting more bricks. The 2017 set comes with 4 minifigures. It comes with Han Solo, Boba Fett, Chewbacca, and a skiff guard. The 2012 set came with Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, another type of skiff guard, and a skiff guard who isn't all he seems. So 4 minifigures in both, and you know, it's a little bit of a subjective thing whether or not you think the previous selection of minifigures was better. Both sets come with a little Sarlacc pit. We'll take a closer look at those in a minute, but is it actually better value for money? Let's have a look at the cost per piece. It's 10.8 pence with this 2017 set, whereas it was 11.7 with the 2012 set. In terms of kind of actual cost, yes, the older one is cheaper, but in terms of value for money, it seems as if the newer set is better value. But before we get onto the actual model, I just want to take a look at the instructions, because I know it might seem a little bit boring to look at the instruction booklets, but there are some stark differences between these that I think are quite interesting. So obviously, firstly, one of them is significantly bigger than the other. The newer instruction booklet, the 2017 one, is bigger than the 2012 one, so you're getting more paper for your money. And actually, if you look at the number of instructions in the new instruction booklet, 66 pages. In the old one you have got 54 or 55, so you're even getting more pages of instructions in the new instruction booklet. But that's where the advantages stop, because actually with the old booklet, if you look at each page, there's a kind of Darth Maul watermark on some of the pages, a little bit of extra attention to detail there. Although thinking about it, why is Darth Maul on this original trilogy set? But the other thing that I'd just like to mention, which is going to seem a bit odd, but the quality of the paper on these older instruction booklets is much higher. It just feels like a better quality instruction booklet, to the point actually that when you look at the newer instruction booklet, you can actually see through the pages onto the instructions on the next page, which you can't do on these. So yeah, it's, if you needed to use one of these as toilet paper, I would use the 2012 one. Don't do that. It's shiny. So let's quickly take a look at the minifigures. Here you get Chewbacca, always a favourite because of the kind of moulded plastic piece that makes him hairy. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I think this skiff guard doesn't look as good as the skiff guard from the 2012 set. It's just simpler, isn't it? It's just a bloke with an angry looking face, whereas the other one had kind of a hat on. But I do prefer significantly this Han Solo minifigure, who's got little handcuffs on there, and he's got quite a magnificent hairpiece actually compared to the Luke Skywalker one. Minifigures have got more detailed as time has got on, and that is something that I think is really advantageous, really is not LEGO getting worse by any stretch. I can't imagine why anybody would prefer simpler minifigures that are really difficult to identify. Let's face it, the Luke Skywalker minifigure doesn't look anything like Luke Skywalker. So yeah, minifigures are better. So let's actually look at the, well, I don't want to call it play value, because you're not really going to play with these. I mean, if you notice, they've got little display stands on the bottom of them. I think these are really for displaying. And incidentally, there are 2 display stands on this one, and many, about 6, 8 on this one. So, you know, more display stands for your money, if that's an important thing to you. They look, you know, pretty similar, which is what you would expect for 2 models that purport to be the same thing from the Star Wars universe. But this model, the 2017 model, just in terms of sort of complexity, is more detailed than the 2012 model. There is no doubt about it. They have used kind of more moulded parts and things to kind of create this curved shapes and things. I think, sadly, perhaps long gone are the days where people put all their Lego in a big box and build fancy new designs. I think a lot of people just buy a Lego set and put it together. Really, I would struggle to say what was better about the 2012 set compared to the 2017 set, apart from one thing. This box in the middle, there's actually a hinge, it opens up, and inside there are a couple of guns. Now, you have got a similar thing on the 2017 set, but it's actually a brick that you have to remove. It's not hinged, which is just a little bit too simple. Do you know what? It's almost like LEGO are afraid to kind of just make their models completely, undeniably better than their previous versions, so that they can just kind of pick and choose which combination of features to put in the next release of their model. And the same is true actually for the sort of design and likeness to the film models as well, because while we're on the topic, the colours on this one are much more like the film Desert Skiff. But then when you actually look at the Sarlacc pits, the colour of this one is kind of really film accurate and it looks quite good. And then you've got this one, which looks like a chocolate egg. The colours are completely wrong. Why have they done this? Why haven't they done this model, which looks more film accurate, with this one, which is the right colour? Maybe that'll be the next set, I don't know. Seems a bit odd to me. Now the 2017 set has a little platform that comes out, which is what, you know, you're supposed to jump off into the Sarlacc pit. Well, you're not supposed to, are you? You wouldn't choose to do that. That's what you're kind of forced to do, isn't it? Whereas this one, oh, it's a hinged one, that's right, which actually, that's actually a little bit better, isn't it? And this is going to be interesting to see what your opinion is here, but the actual sort of control console on the 2017 set here is a little printed brick, whereas on the 2012 set it is made up from these little levers, or levers if you're American. So they've actually used Lego parts to create the controls, which arguably is, you know, kind of more imaginative, isn't it? Generally overall, in terms of price and kind of appearance and colour and accuracy to the film model, I think the 2017 set really kind of trumps the 2012 set there. Let's look a bit more closely at the Sarlacc pits. This is the 2012 one, and this is the 2017 one, the chocolate egg, as I shall call it from now on. You know, this one, you see, you can move it with your hand like that, and you can throw Han Solo in it or whatever. It's got these little teeth around the edge, which are quite film accurate. It's a film accurate colour. The 2020 model is fantastic, apart from the stupid colour. Look, you can open the eggy thing by lifting up this horn. I'm using all the wrong terms. I'm using them just to annoy you, and because I don't know the real terms. Arguably, the mechanism that they've had to use to keep this in place have made the model look a little bit mechanical rather than biological as it is. So yeah, I prefer the play value, if you like, of this 2017 one, but the 2012 one is possibly the better colour. Why not just make this one in this colour? I don't know. So let's try and come to some kind of conclusion about whether or not Lego is getting worse. We've looked at the quality, we've looked at the price of these models, we've looked at their accuracy to the film models, and the features of the models as well. Well, I think personally it's undeniable that Lego is not getting worse. It is getting slowly better. This 2017 set, which is still 3 years old, is much better than the 2012 set, and I'd be interested to see. I don't actually know if there's a new version of this set, but I would expect it to be better still. Anyway, what do you think? Do you agree with me that Lego isn't getting worse? Do you prefer this 2017 set? This 2017 set even, compared to the 2012 set? Let me know down below. Do subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I shall see you next time for another one.